Hi guys! My room's a mess. I'm not using a tripod. I have balanced books on my shelf for whatever reason. That felt like a better idea for me. But today's video is a follow-up to my last health update video. Someone commented on the comments below what I do for if it fits your macros. Oh my goodness, can't talk. They asked what I do for if it fits your macros. I'm kind of in the midst of like counting just mentally and kind of being like, yeah, this is about how much I eat, this is about my serving size, things like that. What's on my finger? But I will follow up because I did want to post a video while I was doing if it fits your macros, talking about kind of the different style that I kind of do for it. So a lot of people count each meal. The way that I did it when I was following it was I would make my breakfast however I wanted, and then I would make my lunch however I wanted, and then after lunch I would actually track everything that I just ate into MyFitnessPal, and that's how I would determine what I would have for like my snack in between lunch and dinner, or what I would have for dinner. So the reason I did this was I felt like it gave me a little bit more freedom. I think when you're counting macros, there's this like weird sensation inside where you're like, oh my gosh, I want to keep them all because then I have so much like room for like random activities, but I never do random activities and I never got to eat, and so it was just kind of pointless, and I'd get to the end of the day and be like, wow, why didn't I eat food? And so it kind of just opened it up that I could, you know, if I found a fun recipe on Pinterest, I could make it, and by lunchtime I would know what I, you know, have left to eat, and I'd be like, oh, that breakfast was not super high in protein, so my dinner will be, or oh, that was a really high protein breakfast, that means tonight I'll have pasta for dinner or something. And so it kind of just made if it fits your macros a little bit more relaxed, but by the end of the day I would still hit my macros. And so the reason I'm not doing if it fits your macros, like I said in my past video, it was just a little bit too much time consuming for my brain in different areas, and so I'm just kind of taking a step back, and I'm kind of just going back to the original way I used to eat, which is actually when my physique was probably at its prime, and that is doing intuitive eating. And so for me, I actually don't super crave carbs, which is kind of a funny story considering I was a high carb plant-based eater for a whole year, and so it's kind of funny that I like literally tried to live off of carbs when I literally could care less about them. I don't necessarily crave them, and I don't necessarily get filled up by them, and I just don't feel like, I feel sluggish after I eat carbs. Am I the only person that feels that way? So I am not a super big fan, and so when I intuitively eat, I usually will have like one or two like rich carb sources. So that's like a tortilla, like a gluten-free tortilla, or oatmeal, or if like I want a bowl of cereal or something, like, or a piece of fruit, but that's not like a rich carb. Like, that's a nutrient-rich carb, but that doesn't fill me up like the other ones do. So I usually have fruit as my snack. So I have like one or two rich, like dense carbs, like rice or sweet potatoes or something like that, and I'll fruit like throughout the day if I want it, and then I try and have protein at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And in between snacks are sometimes like homemade bars or fruit, like I said. Sometimes it's just a cup of coffee, which is probably bad, but that's what I do. I get like a latte or something, and I'm like, yeah, that tied me over. And I kind of just eat until I'm full, and I eat what I want, and so it's a lot of like good rich vegetables and protein sources and tofu, things like that, and I'm really enjoying it, and I feel a lot better, and I feel like I feel more freedom, which is kind of weird because a lot of people eat if it's your macros and they're like, I feel freedom to eat whatever I want. When I intuitively eat, I feel like I have more motivation to eat vegetables, and I think that when you're doing if it fits your macros, like I said, you kind of want to like save them for fun items, and I stop craving vegetables, but when I'm eating vegetables, I like love them. And so right now I'm kind of challenging myself to like fill up my plate with vegetables, and then if I want something else, then I'll go and I'll make my baked sweet potato or things like that. And if I have a sweet potato, my stomach always feels like it's like expanding and dying, and so as much as I love them, I only have them like once in a blue moon. But yeah, that is kind of how I did If It Fits Your Macros. I ate intuitively for breakfast and lunch, and then I tracked them at the end of the day, and that's what determined my dinner. So it's not too much different what I'm doing now. I just kind of know my portions and I know what I like to eat. And so if I know I'm going out to dinner, I'm probably going to eat a little bit differently throughout the day just because I know that's going to be a really rich meal. But I think that after you've done If It Fits Your Macros for a really long time, you kind of have a good visual of what you're doing. And I'm not training for a competition or anything like that, and so I don't need to have that like last gram of knowledge of like, oh my goodness, that's gonna make my left not show up or whatever. So that is what I'm doing. I'm probably going to continue it until I finish school just because I have 2 months and all of my focus is like straight up on that. So that is this video. I hope you guys liked it. Let me know if you have any questions. If you like these like nutritional health videos, give this video a thumbs up. Follow me on Instagram at Kaylasjoy. I post my recipes that I make throughout the day sometimes, and when I'm inspired I take other pictures. Right now I'm kind of slagging. Is that a word? Slagging? A word? I'm slacking. I think it's slacking. Oh man, it's slacking. I'm slacking because I'm in school all the time and I literally have nothing that is inspiring me. Like I wake up and I'm like, yeah, hey room, and then I put on jeans and then I go to class and I'm like, hey classroom, and then I get to the gym and I'm like, hey gym, and then I go home and I don't see clouds and I don't see mountains and I don't see anything pretty other than what I put on my plate. So that is what my pictures are right now. I'm gonna be done talking so this video can only be 7 minutes long. I love you guys and I hope you guys are doing well, and blessings and tidings. Good day.